Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to present to you and formally introduce Bob, Cos, and Arthur, the Play No Games podcast. It's your favorite podcast. When we talk about real life and exchange a few laughs, we sticking to our path. When you find understanding, just know that that will never last. We ain't here to play no games.
What's poppin',
The
you
world is
guys?
getting crazy, and now we
Cartier
know
Bob,
we gotta
and I'm
be
back
the change.
here again with the liveness. Y'all suck. Anywho, welcome to the Play No Games podcast. I'm Cartier Bob.
I'm Cos. I'm Arthur. What is wrong with you?
And if y'all like what we're doing, we're trying to expand,
Oh my
grow,
gosh.
and grow the minds and the hearts of the people. So,
Oh, man.
like, commenting, and subscribing is so much free. But if you believe in what we're trying to do, make you laugh, make you smile, make you love the next person next to you better, donate. Cash App, $ Hero Bob. I want to pay my friends. I want to build a business. So,
Above you, right? Yeah, it's above them. Yeah.
because I'm going to be Scrooge this year because I ain't going to pay them. So, this
Am I
is-
surprised? No, absolutely not.
Hey,
Yay.
I'm a dictator sometimes.
All the time. Yay.
But I know y'all see this wonderful person right next to us. But before y'all get to really know who he is, we got to do our most favorite subject so y'all can kind of get an
Segment.
idea.
Segment.
You jacking up everything right now.
What did I say?
It's segment, not
What did I s-
You said subject.
Subject?
Yeah.
You know what? I've been playing no games about accountability. I should have said segment. So, anywho, before we get to know our wonderful guest, see what happens? See what happens with these people? We're going to introduce y'all to our most favorited segment. So,
Finally, you got it right. Dang. Took you long enough.
Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, Arthur. Go.
No, you participate in this bullshit.
This segment is called Play No Games. It could be positive, negative, informative. It could be anything about your day. All you have to say is I'm ready to play no games about this. Go ahead, Robert, since
Bob.
Y'all, so-
Slap.
wow. You know what? Wow. You know what? I ain't going to play no games about... I'm going to let y'all know I'm back in them betting streets and my betting, I'm breaking even and I'm a little sad. I'm not going to lie.
What are you betting on?
I'm betting on football. Damn. So
Be worse.
before y'all pitch in, make sure y'all watch who y'all betting. Don't ever bet on Russell Wilson ever again. I'm done betting on. The Broncos should have won that game.
Yeah, significantly.
That's the only thing I needed. They just needed to win the game, and then I feel like.
That's right.
I felt like Future pressed the button and was like, he said, fuck that nigga.
Not Future.
No.
Fucking got him.
You can't bet on Russell Wilson. As a Seahawks fan, I'll tell you that firsthand. That's funny though.
Anywho, but no comments on my betting, but that's it. I don't know betting. But before I pass it to our next person, I think it's most important that I introduce this person. I'm going to do it twice, but this time I'm going to introduce Craig. What are you playing no games about?
Man, if y'all know me, I'm not playing no games about my sneakers.
Okay.
I'm not playing games about my sneakers, man. I love my sneakers. I do what I feel like I can to a reasonable degree to get my hands on a pair.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't mess around when it comes to sneakers. So that's what I ain't playing no games about my kicks.
Attaboy. I think we're gonna get a little more in depth in that here in a bit, but yes, that's a good little teaser.
I definitely got a question, though. What sneakers did you bring in today?
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Do you want to show us off now?
Yeah, I don't mind. You know? So, for
Get close up on that.
watching, some of you guys have probably already seen the video that I did
Baseball
on these,
legs,
but
huh?
yeah, you know when you think about it, yeah, it kind of reminds you of a baseball glove. But actually, these are the Jordan 1 Union / Beffy Beauty Supply LA Jordan 1s. So pretty much Beffy and Chris, who are the owners of Union and Beffy's Beauty Supply, they're actually husband and wife, and they got together and they got to come together and make a sneaker. And this sneaker is pretty much a representation of when they met and how they met and stuff like that. So this was back in like apparently summer of '96, and so a part of their growing up,
Basket weaving.
yeah. So they're Afro Caribbean, like that's their
Oh, okay.
culture. So in
Yeah.
Afro Caribbean culture, a lot of basket weaving takes place, and so
That's clean.
to kind of represent that, they put that into the sneaker. Of course, the golden laces is a second set of laces. These actually came with white laces in them. And I really love this shoe. Now, people trashed the hell out of this shoe.
They did.
People trashed the hell out of this shoe. You did, man, bro. But did you buy them though?
I didn't buy them. No.
So see, there's a lot of people who trashed the hell out of this sneaker, but the shoe did not sit on too many shelves. I don't think it sat on any shelves, honestly. I think I want to say not too long ago, I seen a notification on my phone pop up about a restock on these, like on just like one of the foot, like a regular like foot site, and they were gone just like that. So for this shoe to be a shoe that people necessarily quote unquote didn't like, I think it looks very beautiful in person. I think that time will pass and people will say that they wish that they had them. They feel really good on feet, and I really love how unique they are. Like this whole basket weave that they have throughout this shoe is, you just don't see that shit like on a Jordan 1. And for someone to actually do it and then make it look good. I mean, if y'all think it looks bad, I like, it's like I don't have any dog against anyone.
I wouldn't say bad. For me, it's just it takes a turn, or I'm like,
It's definitely
also,
different.
I'm not a huge Jordan 1 guy either. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I find myself much more in the alley of 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s.
3s, 4s.
I like
5s,
that era
6s.
much more.
I feel that.
This almost reminds me of like a Native American shoe right here, like a moccasin type of shoe.
Yeah, I feel you.
I
can see that.
It's a love story.
But yeah,
That is
and
dope,
and
though.
that's what I like about it too, is that it's a love story. It's a sneaker based from a love story, and I mean that's amazing for two people who both have some sort of ownership of like their own brand, be able to come together with Jordan and make a sneakers like
Very cool.
that's different. Like most of the times you're seeing like other artists get with just other artists, but this is very unique in itself, that it's like it's Chris and Beffy that got to come together and make a pair. So yeah, and I've been wearing these for like, since I got them, I haven't taken them off damn near. I think today was the first day that I didn't wear them, and I ended up putting on like my Chicago's. But yeah.
Now, Craig, the magic question: did you get them retail or resell?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I got them retail.
You hit on them?
Honestly, these days, bro, it's retail. So like I said, I don't fuck around by my kicks, man.
Okay.
So these days, it's either retail or bust for most things
That's
that
bold.
I go for. So like these, it was like, bro, I'm either gonna get these retail or I'm going to pass, because before the retail came out, before the retail release, there were people there was like this whole situation. I don't know if you guys know who Sneaker Fetish is on Twitter.
Potentially.
Yeah, he's a
know.
YouTuber. He does Twitter as well. Well, Sneaker Fetish got his hands on these, and then he also pointed out that people were posting pictures of them with this pair, but they had clear lace bags, and folks was like, "Well, they all have clear lace bags, blah 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 blah. That's how they're supposed to come." But the catch was that his pair came with a brown box with the laces in them. So Nike has switched to putting their laces in brown boxes, and whoever decided that they were going to start producing fakes of these used plastic bags to put the laces in. And so it's like, if you got a pair of these and they came with a plastic bag and you got them early, you got. And so there was a lot of people who had them, and I was just like, yeah, see, fakes are so good right now.
Dude, they're so good. And that's why any YouTuber I see, especially smaller YouTubers that are like showing off a shoe that's maybe 2-3 months before it's supposed to be released, it's fake.
Man, look, I'm trying to tell you, fakes are so crazy right now. And first off, just want to say, if you wear fakes, if you like fake sneakers, don't have nothing against you. I don't think it makes you any better of a man than me. It doesn't make you any less of a man than me. It's for me a personal preference of why I I think people feel that buying fakes is like a victimless thing, and it's really not. And so for me, I have my own personal reasons why I don't personally buy them, and I'm just like, look, if I'm either gonna get it or I don't, and I just move on. But I just didn't want to end up with a fake pair, so I was like, hey, it's retailer bust. Retailer bust. I was like, a resale on these is actually really low too. I think it's like you can get them get a pair for like $260.
Okay, just yeah.
But the experience of just buying retail from the actual retailer and knowing that you're legit is just like that peace of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's been so many times I've gone on GOAT and went through the whole process of getting the damn shoe just for me to get home and scratch my head and continuously. Man, are they real, bro? I
exactly.
I don't know. Like, let me put them on the authenticator app.
Yeah, the authenticator.
Yeah, let me put them on check. Check says, yeah, you're good, and I'm still just like, man, they sure, bro. I did all of that just for me to sit at home with a headache and feel like I don't have a real shoe.
You brought up a topic there that we can go in a little later if you want, but I found it really interesting where you're like, yeah, they're not reselling for a lot, but I still like them. I feel like in sneaker culture today, way too many people are focused on the resale, not on just like what they like, what they want to wear. Like I've always been a collector first, so it's like I will wear, like I really enjoy the Craft 5s I grabbed. I know those aren't hot. People didn't love them when they released. They're not reselling for a lot, but I like them.
Right.
I wear them,
and that's what it should be about, man. Like bump the resale value, bro. It's like if we didn't have any of that, like if we didn't have any of that and you seen the sneaker, do you want the sneaker? Do you like it? And if that question is yes, then buy it. Exactly. If it's no, then don't get it. I mean, granted, there are people who are going to see a shoe that they don't like, see that there's a lot of resale tag to it, and then buy it. And I these days I used to hate resellers. Like I used to hate resellers with a passion.
Yeah.
If I knew you were someone who was buying a shoe and buying a few shoes or getting a whole bunch of shoes just to like resell, I used to be like, fuck that guy, man. Like I can't stand him. I hate him.
Yeah.
But
I know a few of them.
But then I was just like,
filled with them.
I was like, can I really blame someone for buying a shoe that they don't like and selling it to someone if that person is willing to pay quadruple the price? I mean, it's like everybody's trying to get their money. Can't be mad at that. But I think it should be about what you like and what you don't like, and that's what should ultimately determine whether you buy. Like I'm on Twitter a lot, and so like sneaker Twitter is like really big and popping. Yeah. Like if you want to know about sneakers, you want to know what people are talking about, like with sneakers, sneaker Twitter is one of those places where you can kind of go and see what's going on. Got to be careful like who you decide to talk to per se, because sometimes it's a lot of politics in sneaker Twitter, but
that's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics in sneaker Twitter and a lot of different opinions and beliefs, and that's just what the internet and Twitter is. But for the most part, you want to get a majority of what sneaker culture is like these days. Like you can just hop on Twitter and see it.
100%.
And you will see a lot of people want to know about stock numbers. I want to know what the stock numbers is. Yeah. Is this sneaker going to be rare? Is it going to be hard to get? I've even seen people like a sneaker, be hella happy that they got it, and then say, oh, let me backtrack. Get the sneaker, be hella happy that they got it, see that they weren't the only ones that hit, and then be like, man, I thought I like came up. Like, I thought I had something special. It's just like, you like the sneaker, right? Yeah. Then why does that matter that everyone else got it?
They're mad that it didn't like sell out. Yeah, it's like sitting on sneakers.
They're like, every time I get to hit, it's always on something that everyone got.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, everyone's chasing that got 'em screen, that
the
Nike.
Big one.
Yeah, they're chasing that Nike got 'em screen for that Travis Scott Air Max,
some SBs,
that Travis Scott High, that Off-White this or something like that. They know is just gonna be like, damn, I could either flip this and get this, like get a shoe that I really really want, or I can make me a lot of bread off of this. Yep. And to that, I just, to each his own. Me personally, if I like it, I love it, I'm gonna try to get it.
All right.
Solid.
I feel like I went very, very hard on that.
Oh, no, you good.
Hey,
good.
That's you play no games
I
about.
Yeah, I was like, did y'all get even get to say what y'all played about?
Hey,
No.
do your thing.
My bad, because I do get pretty passionate about it. Like,
Oh,
man, I could
I
talk about just so much just shit that I just see wrong with sneaker culture right now, and it just, like I said, I can go all night.
I think that goes into my first question really well, actually. One of the questions I had lined up for you was, what are kind of like stuff you're seeing in the culture? If it's a trend right now that you're just not really feeling.
Let's see. I'll say one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of is these days, like, so Nike SBs are like blowing up.
Yeah.
Right. Like Nike SB has been doing their thing. They've been creating, and one thing I like about their shoes is that they create shoes that really are intentional a lot of the times. They like, for example, the Nike SB, the Harito Dunks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they always are able to tell a lot of good stories with their kicks.
Damn.
And one of the, so outside of skaters wanting to gatekeep Nike SBs, there's been a lot of there's been a lot of people that want to try to rip away what makes sneakers so fun and what makes sneakers so interesting to collect. And that's really just the stories and kind of like just what the sneaker means for other people and what the sneaker should mean to people. Like, we were like going back and forth on Twitter about the Haritos dunk in itself, and people were upset because folks start talking about how y'all gonna say that this shoe done got nothing to do with Mexican culture, like y'all are just creating division and this and that. Anyone can buy the shoe, it doesn't matter. And we're like, well, yeah, you can buy the shoe. All we're saying is, like, you know, be mindful that this shoe is a representation of like Latino culture. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And, and so it's like there are a lot of people who want to rip that away. For example, I'm on my year. I'm on my year is a black owned, like, they're a black owned boutique.
Yeah.
And so, like, they've been making a lot of sneakers, and they've even kind of just like done visuals depicting like the black plight, the black struggle, and kind of like the triumph. You know, like, I want to say with the Jordan 1, and like they did a Jordan 1, a Jordan 2, a 3, and a 4. And all those were kind of like just speaking to blackness. And there are a lot of people who wanted to know, oh, well, since I'm white, since I'm Hispanic, can I not buy the shoe? And some people would say, like, well, we're not saying that you can't buy the shoe, but what we're telling you is that, like, this is what this shoe means, and it's gonna mean a lot to a lot of people. And some people just pop up and be like, man, shoes are just shoes. They're, you know what I'm saying? You guys are just making this deeper than what it is. And it's just like, no, we're not. It is what it is, bro. Like, this is a thing. Like, this isn't something that we're just making up. And, yeah, man, it's been exhausting lately. People want to know, can they buy shoes? And then one guy on YouTube made like a whole video about it. Hey, I'm white. Can I buy sneakers? It's like, bro, we're not telling you that. All we want to tell you is that when you buy this shoe, just know the message, know the story, and know what this is connected to. I mean, people are gonna do what they do, but it's more so just like, I also hate like when creators get the shoe and they don't really talk about that. Like, they're like, they'll get like the I'm on my year Jordan 1 and be like, yeah, I got this shoe. It looks really cool. Look at the cracked leather on it. And then completely omit what the sneaker is supposed to represent or mean.
It's what do you call it? You know, they watched that Jordan clip where Republicans buy shoes too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, basically.
so you know, so
and so
You saying that reminded me of like the My Cause My Cleats kind of thing that they've done with football, and really being able to like customize your cleats in the aspect of like being able to represent whoever you wanted to represent, whatever you wanted to represent, and wear that. And I think that's kind of where different shoe brands and different shoe opportunities are kind of taking hold of too as well. It's like really putting a message on people's feet, and I think it's important. That message is just spread, whatever message you want to spread. And I think, that's dope. That they're really tapping into a different market, and football kind of was a curveball for that. I think that kind of started a lot. So.
Yeah, like that type of stuff is important, man, and it means a lot. Like hell, like the J Balvin. I applauded Nike because the J Balvin 3s. I don't know if you guys have seen them yet, and
They're
I
fire.
actually am getting them. I had
The
someone who-
Medellin Sunrise.
someone hooked me up with their EA. So
Oh,
they
yeah?
did they did an EA exclusive access, and I just put, and I got to start doing it more. But I just put a beacon of hope out there. I asked, I said, hey, does anybody, you know, have EA on these? And someone hit me up, was like, I do. I said, and they just left it at I do. And I was just like, are you gonna get them, or are you gonna help me get them? He's like, you can have it. I was like, are you serious? I'm like, mind you, I've never met this person before. Like, I never met them in real life. So I'm a little I am approaching it like with a little bit of skepticism. I'm just like, show me that you have it. And he's like, sends me a screenshot. I'm just like, oh shit, like it's a whole full size run. And I'm like, can I log into your account, use my Apple Pay and buy them? He's like, yeah. I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, you don't get this type of like love and like support, like someone ooping you a pair like that.
Yeah.
That shit just doesn't happen.
Wow.
And so shout out to you. Shout out to you if you watching this. If you end up watching this, I really appreciate that.
It comes and it goes. You mentioned those Amamanye 4s. I have them. Those are one of my grails from last year because I got to meet Mr. Whitaker when I was in college. Really dope guy. Really, really cool guy. I got to talk to him one-on-one about business and all this stuff. Really cool guy. So it stuck with me, and his whole concept of retail, what retail can be, what Amamanye is, and all this. And I love the whole concept of it. So I've been following him. So I saw the 4s. I'm like, I need those. Missed out on them. I was willing to pay resale for them. StockX fucked me. The seller never sent them. Took like 3 weeks to get a refund.
Damn.
On like $450.
That's another reason why I don't even go through that.
Then I was working a trade where I was doing like a Trailblazer signed ball with a local business that had them. I show up, they sell them. They sold them the day before. Whatever. All right, 2 strikes. Last one came through. My buddy works at Nike. They were doing a Thirsty Thursday, selling some leftover inventory, and he knew I wanted them. He's got my size for $120.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
like with the J Balvin 3s, right? When I get them, like I'm not gonna sit there and just be like, hey, this shoe is beautiful. Look at the colorway, blase, blase. Yeah, these are going straight to feet. It's like, dude, you gotta kind of like I applauded Nike because they released these on the day that Hispanic Heritage Month started. And I'm like, bro, stuff like that, like little things like that matter. Like you kick something, like you kicked a dope ass sneaker off on the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's in collaboration with J Balvin.
Yeah.
Like that's how you be intentional. That's how, like that's what makes sneaker culture amazing and fun.
100%.
And speaking of the Amamanye 4s, I love that James Whitaker and his team did what they did with those and how they released them. I actually got a pair from the way that they did it. They wanted you to submit a video about what you feel is important in the world, because that's what the sneaker was coming out like around like election times. And I really wish that they did more stuff like that, like stuff that made you
Personable.
Yeah, and it made you realize that, man, there's more important things in the world than sneakers. Like I said, I don't fuck around about sneakers, but I do care a lot about like the way our future looks and the way that it's shaped. And a part of me feels like that's why I work with kids so much, is because I have this thought and this theory that, like, bro, kids are legit the future. Like, some people just say that shit, and I think they just say it to sound good, but it's like, bro, I really feel like Trunks. I feel like I feel like I'm changing the future.
See what you did there.
Bro, I feel like I'm shaping and I'm changing the future, and what I tell these kids and what I do with them will change their future, and it'll change mine. Cause I mean, bro, like, we got a lot of work to do. Like, these motherfuckers got sexy red out here.
Oh,
Thank you. Someone said it.
I didn't think we were going there,
Bro,
today.
like the amount
Arthur, you
of,
have no idea who that is, huh?
The artist?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sexy
don't-
red.
I don't know who that is, but
bro, like,
My coochie pink, booty hole brown.
you ain't never heard that song?
no.
I think the first time I really saw her was at
Bro, I had a student
the
trick
Jets
me
game.
into playing that shit at a summer program one day.
I'm so sorry.
She said, "Mr. Craig, can you play Pound Town?" Now, mind you, from people was like, "Craig, you didn't think like from the song, like from the title of the song that it was gonna be bad?" I was like, I mean, Drake has a song called Pound Cake, and it has nothing to do with ass or nothing like that. And so I asked the kid, hey, is this a bad song? Like, that you're telling me to play? She's like, no, it's not bad. She's like, no, it's not bad. And I'm just like, okay, well, after this song is over, I'll play it. And, we at school, a lot of the kids, like, they come to summer programming, they're around, I wanted to pretty much just have them have some fun, like listen to music, be and listen to music that they can relate to and that they love. And so I go to this song and I play it. And you got 6 or I'm out of town, thugging with my rounds, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown. And I'm like, I go, and someone goes, hey, who's playing that? And mind you, I put it on the clean version. Like, anytime I play music around kids, I always put it on a clean version. I don't give a damn if they listen to the dirty version at home.
Yeah.
I play the clean version. I asked for the clean version of this song, and she still said she didn't. So instead of my C pink, she says my coochie pink and my booty hole, bro. I'm like, this is a clean version. Why didn't you just completely rephrase that whole line?
My job.
And people was like, Craig, why did you play that? I was just like, but this like, what I'm saying? Like, this is like, these are the type of influences that they have, right? Yeah. And it's like, if you just let that shit go unchecked, bro, you can really have, you could be looking toward and for a really crazy future. Like, we got to get old one day. And these are the kids that are, these are the folks that are going to be, you know what I'm saying? If not taking care of us, taking care of our kids. And
No, it's very I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think Sexy Red would come up during this episode. But no, I agree with what you're saying about how intentional we have to be. Where on a couple podcasts ago, we were talking about how we all share that authenticity is going to be the new currency, because everyone's going to be where a lot of people who are in the gym are doxing their photos, be like, oh, you have to look like me, buy my program. And the things they're going to sell, get these shoes that make you look cool, but they're not really, once again, authentic. Hey, you fake people. But all I'm saying, but it's kind of it's really authenticity is going to sell. And people have to see, I may not like this, particular sneaker, but it's cool to me because of the story.
Yeah.
And so I agree with you. So when you go back to the Sexy Reds, not to trying to say that she should, make money for what she's doing, but it's kind of that's not timeless music. We know the purpose of why music is done. It's for, to instill something in someone. But that's survival music versus I'm trying to touch your soul. Mm-hmm. So working with our youth is important.
Yeah. So the one thing I have to disagree, well, I don't disagree, but I just kind of rephrased a little bit different, is you were talking about how you talk about youth are our future. I feel like you're behind the curve because youth are our present. Because when you think about it, they create the society in which we live in. When we think of American society, we live behind trends. We live behind these ideologies that come from youth. And we have to begin to think about that, and how can we impact and influence youth in a way, in a facet, to what we understand what we're living in. Yeah. They don't understand what they're living in, but they're creating what we're living in. Yeah. So I think that's why I feel like they're more our present instead of our future. But in your process of working with youth, how do you feel that youth advocacy is different from the way it used to be?
What you mean?
So growing up as a child, youth advocacy was more, I felt community-based, real community-based. You were getting raised by neighbors.
I was about to say, so you mean hey, if Miss Patty down the street catch you doing something, she gonna probably whoop your ass too.
Yeah.
And I give her full permission to do whatever she need to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I said this not too long ago, and it's I got to be careful with what I say these days, because one day I said in the school, I said, you know what, when kids stop getting ass whoopings was when it just seemed like everything went to shit. And these days, everyone like they're very sensitive about that subject because people are
Absolutely.
like, yeah, you shouldn't have to beat your kids. You shouldn't. Man, I'm just saying. I had a kindergarten teacher who told me to stop doing some shit. I didn't listen. She said, "Come here." Didn't I tell you not to do X, Y, and Z? Yeah. So why'd you do it? I don't know. Well, here's something to remind you of why you shouldn't do it anymore. What? In my hand. It's just something simple. Pat with a ruler. Okay, I get it. I'm not doing that shit no more. Don't touch the stove. It'll burn you. Okay. Touches the stove. Gets his ass burned. Never wants to touch the stove again. It's like those things I feel like helped a lot of like our generation. It was just kind of like you didn't necessarily fear your parents, but you respected them.
Yeah.
And you respected the consequences that came with it as well, right? These kids don't have consequences. Like even with school, they I hate how Reynolds or Portland or whoever it is running these school districts because these kids like, oh, okay, I don't go to class. I'm still gonna go to the next grade. I don't care. I'm gonna go to the next grade.
Or I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I can flunk, I can fail, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and guess what? You're still gonna pass me on. They have no they have no real consequences, or they don't have any type of fear of consequences. Like they don't get in trouble at home. I mean, like I said, like getting an ass whooping is almost like, damn, you just basically put yourself in hot water. If your kid does decide that they're gonna call UPS, or not say UPS,
Deliver the package.
ship this kid off, ship my mom off to another because I don't want her no more. But no, CPS, if you know, they call CPS, Child Protective Services, like they could easily have a case against you when it's just like, man, some parents are legit scolding and they're not sparing the rod with their kid because they fucking care about their kids.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think that there is like, I think sometimes it can go too far.
Yeah.
I know that there are parents that will take it too damn far. And like me personally, I don't think I'm someone who's going to like take my belt off and whoop my kid. But I think I need to convey some sort of punishment that is beyond like, man, these kids don't even get their phones taken away.
So all right. So I want to kick this to you in this way, where it's kind of like I agree, but I also disagree to a certain extent because, you know, when we look at this entire thing that we're doing, where it's kind of like on the show, we talk about a lot of things that people would deem emotionally intelligent, right? Because they want men to be a certain way, right? We're like, we'll make this easy. When we go to like the football field, right? If you don't do something back in the day, your coach is cussing you out. You need to run this route like this and this and this. But like a gym that a lot of people miss in the last Colorado game is Horn missed a route and he wasn't producing. And then you see Deion Sanders comes up to him, you know, rightfully so, you're not producing this big game. We got to win this game. He hugs him. He embraces him. Like, I understand that you're going through this. And then, boom, he has a couple good catches and helps win the game. Where it's like, I think, just like you're saying, it's like the balance. Where, like, it's almost like last resort stuff. Where, like, I feel like, can I say, honestly, because I was a product of being whooped and I was a product of fearing my parents, where like respectfully, my dad was more of the brute where like he was the whooping, but like my mom was more tactical and like.
So there was balance.
But here's the thing. I would hate getting whoopings more from my mom than my dad because, you know, this is a small rant where like, when I got older, I just put on a lot of like basketball shorts and stuff. And then I wouldn't feel it, but my mom had to get butt naked. But this is something I would never forget. I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, I'm about to get a whooping. So we go in and she literally lays out a pillow and she starts like whooping like the pillow. And she's like, fake cry. And she's like, I know you didn't do that. I believe you. And like that stuck with me longer than any whooping that she ever gave me because of how she's like, I understand the semantics of what's going on, but I need you to listen to me because this is what's going on. And I feel like as a generation when it comes to generational trauma, because we want our kids to survive. If they're not listening, we're immediately going to like what's the quickest way for you to listen. So I think we've like lost that art of that. And going back to what I'm saying, Lupin, it's like authenticity of like, you're a star player. Of course you're gonna get tired of me because I can't do it like you. But it's that patience, you know, where it's kind of like, how can we have that patience with our kids and everything when it comes to like, all right, because there are some last resort things, because, you know, but that's how I'll leave it.
Yeah. And for me, and I think it's in stages, right? Like when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? It was the belt. Like some people hit their kids with like open and closed fists. I'm like, yeah, hell no. Don't hit a kid with an open closed fist. Like that's you know, I feel like that's a little but like I feel like when you're a kid, it's like, hey, pops to the hand with a ruler. You know, my grandma, like, shit. If we got in trouble and my grandma went outside and she grabbed a switch, boy, I got in line so quick. Game's over. Let's chill. Be chill. I'm not trying to get these lashes from my grandma today. I'm chilling. Like, my grandma thought I was a really good kid just because I was a good kid. No, grandma, I didn't want to get a whooping. And I knew that you wasn't playing. My grandma ain't playing no games.
Absolutely.
Grandma ain't playing no game. And to answer your question about the advocacy thing again, is just like kids have like this idea that like, oh yeah, you know, you're not my mom, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do, and you know, you can tell her she's not gonna believe you. I don't care. Like
the level of respect pieces is out the window when it comes to students.
Like the fact that they know that they can't get in trouble by anyone other than their parents, it has definitely changed like how they come up. It's like, you can't do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing. Now, like when we was growing up, I was just like, shit, man. Nah, my teacher can do something. My mama definitely gave her the green light to. Yeah. And you know, back then they really lived by the it takes a child. I mean, it takes a village. Yeah. It takes a village to raise a child. These days they say it, but I don't really think that they really know what that really looks like.
100%. So I feel like I'm part of that generation, the first wave of kids where you really couldn't touch them. I'm a little younger. You know, graduated high school like 2016. And I'm now seeing like all these friends I had that I grew up with that are now, you know, we're mid-20s. And it's just, they're just not ready for life. You can tell a lot of them either, you know, they had everything they needed. They went off to college. They couldn't handle responsibilities. They were forced to come back home, or they just can't handle like problems that arise, especially if there's a confrontation at work or something like that. They're like, oh, they just don't get me and all that stuff. I'm like, well, you know, you gotta play the game, you know. Life is a game, and you're playing it now, and you gotta understand the rules and all this stuff. But with a lot of those kids who, you know, you're not allowed to touch, they end up growing up thinking that, you know, life's just gonna be the way they want it to be, and it's just gonna go exactly how, you know, everything's gonna be given to them. And I'm here to say, like, I've seen a lot of guys who are now like, and they still don't see themselves as the problem, which is the biggest problem.
Yeah, and like I said, man, like to a degree, I think if you don't want to whoop your child, at the very most, man, can they do some push-ups? You know, hey, you got to give me 10 push-ups before I give you any Christmas money. Not even 10. You got to give me 20 push-ups. You owe me 50 push-ups before I give you this Christmas money.
So I had it all, man. I had the dead cockroach, which is your hands and your feet in the air with your head up. And you had to hold that. I had the corner. I had the wall sit.
I ain't never heard of the dead cockroach. I ain't
never
heard of that.
Oh yeah, so you lay on your back with your hands and your feet in the air and your head up like this. Just you got to waterboard you too. Like you just sit there. And
I think the most I've heard something similar to that was like you had to just hold books.
Oh, we had to do wall sits and do that.
Yeah,
we had it all. But I got my ass whooped. I got the switch. I got the extension cord. I got it all. Like growing up, my mom really played no games. She was not about anything. And so it like when we began to like go the complete opposite route, like my sister is like the complete opposite route, but her daughter turned out the same way as her. And so like we have to understand, like, yeah, like y'all saying, there's balance and understanding, but I think there also, like, there has to be this sense of respect. Like growing up, like now I realize like how much I love my mom, but I also hated her because of like, man, you whipped the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, it's this understanding of the consequence in which your actions lead you to this consequence, which is I think where Costa's going is like there's no consequence to an action. And we've taken that out of society and be like, there's no consequences, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And so now these kids, that's why I feel like nowadays you have kids shooting because they have no consequence. They don't understand consequence. They don't understand what it is, like what happens when you pick up a gun. What happens, like we get our ass whooped. You got to understand, like if we was doing something stupid, stealing from a store, my mom, I have to give a story. So my cousin tried to rob a store at a young age with me. My mom tackled him, beat him up, but it was to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't in the sense of like I'm gonna go to jail, but it was in the sense of like you need to really wake up and see what the hell you doing and what it can lead to, and you dragging other people into it. Mm-hmm. So it was like we have these. It almost creates this fear of like, I'm not scared of what I'm doing. I'm scared of my home consequence. Like, and I think that is what people don't have anymore. It's like, because as a kid, you're going to do whatever a kid is going to do, right? Yeah. 13, 14, 15, you out, whatever. I'm going to run the streets, whatever. And if you have no consequence at home, what you doing? You back in the streets.
Right.
Because y'all have no consequence. But if I have a consequence at home and I run the streets and I get caught, you think I'm going to be in the streets again? Hell to the no. Or it's going to be a while before I get back in the streets again. You know what I'm saying? And so I think we've lost this sense of like punishment. It's nothing or prison, nothing or jail. And it's like at that point, you've gone too far. Yeah. There's nothing in between that says, okay, I need to slow down what I'm doing.
Right.
So, yeah.
But like I said, people are so scared. People are so fragile about the conversation. Like I said, there's a lot of just shit that goes into whether or not you should whoop your kids. And
I feel like that starts with like we need to break down that barrier of it being like taboo to talk about how people raise their kid.
Yes, yeah.
I think people are too scared to bring that up, and people get too offended when you're like, oh, you know, he did this, and they're like, no, he didn't. He's always like you mentioned.
That's
earlier.
what I was saying earlier. Yeah,
So I think we need to break down that barrier, and it needs to be not as taboo to be like, hey, you know, Bobby could use some work.
Yeah, and it's like they take that, and it's just like don't talk shit about my kids. Like, I'm not talking shit about you. I'm trying to tell
Kid's
you,
a piece of shit.
I'm trying to tell you, like your kid's a fucking asshole, and. Right now, you're starting to tell me this is why he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm just letting you know, like, like you said, he could use some work, man. Like, I don't think that there's any, like, kid that's necessarily bad on purpose. Some of them are just hella misguided, don't have the right direction. Because, like I said, some of those same kids that were being fucking assholes is like, once I get to you, like I said, you're not finna not have consequences with me. You're probably not going to be used to it. But you're going to have to get used to it if you want to be in my program. I'm not letting you say or do whatever you want, and you think that, oh, yeah, he not going to call my mama.
I had parents on speed dial. I mean,
he can't.
Promise.
Like, I had a kid was like, I don't know what you You're not going to, it ain't like you're not going to touch me. I was just like, you're right. I'm not going to touch you. I don't have to put a hand on you. But you won't get on my bus for this next trip unless you run me some push-ups. Or some laps or something. And then like I had one guy was like, Craig, I don't know if we can do that. I said, nah, hell no. We absolutely can. Y'all, we need to do something. That kid's he's a completely different kid today. Success story. He's a completely different kid today. But because he wants the shit that we do. We take them on trips. They get exposure, bro. They're with their friends. They want to do all this stuff. Like they don't want to miss out on that. Yeah. It's like, hey, bro, before you get on the bus, I'm sorry. You cussed me out. You cussed her out. I need 50 push-ups. Man, it's okay. I get hurt. It burn. you're gonna have to feel something. I can't touch you. Now I could tell your mom, and maybe she want to do something about it, but what if she don't? From me, you need 50. You need to give me 50 before you get on my bus. And I don't care. You can do 20 today. You can do 20 tomorrow, then do the rest of the 10, but you finna be strong before you get on my bus. And yeah, man, he a completely different kid. We have a dope relationship. And I think that in the long run, I'm hoping that like he appreciates that.
Yeah.
Like looking back. Because there's a lot of times where I feel like, man, the teacher was being a dickhead, man. Like holding me accountable for this stupid shit. And I'm just like, I'm glad that he did. Yeah. I'm really glad that he did.
I think that's also put this question full circle, because when we talk about previous community raising children, I think the proper way of doing that is going back to it, right? Like you said, like kids are like, you can't touch me, but I can make you do push-ups. I'm gonna call your mom. And I used to be the type to where I started annoying parents. Look, little Tommy did this again. Little Tommy did that again. Little Tommy did this again. And they're going to be like, can you stop calling me? I said, well, can you stop telling little Tommy to keep doing what he doing? Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, next week, he a different kid. Yeah. And it's because parent got tired of me calling. Hey, and I got tired of the kid doing whatever they was doing. So, look, we going to have a great communication if this kid going to keep tripping.
Right.
And I think that community engagement piece puts the parent at doing their job, which I feel a lot of parents nowadays aren't doing their job. They're allowing other people to raise their kids. So are the kids being raised? Okay.
And I think
another thing.
I think something else that goes into that too is that like I didn't realize it, but like man, a lot of these like especially kids once they're in middle school, like their parents are exhausted. Mm-hmm. I heard that like in elementary school, your kids in elementary school is a breeze. They're kids. They're lovey-dovey. I want you to stay a baby forever, It's like, oh, like you're so cute. It's like kids are cute when they're kids, you know what I'm saying? They're just so lovable and true, and then they become these fucking monsters in middle school.
Yeah.
And on top of them becoming these monsters and trying to figure out who they want to be as an adult or as a young adult, I should say, they, you know what I'm saying? The parents start getting burnt out because it's like times is hard as fuck right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they got work, bills and shit to catch up on. The last thing they want to hear is little Timmy was at the school fucking cussing out his teacher or skipping class. It's like I've had legit parents tell me I don't know what to do with him. I don't know what to do.
And that's what he say. This is a shameless plug time for condoms. Yeah, Trojan. Put one on if you don't want to deal with that.
Man. People, I think a lot of I feel like we have some parents that legit had kids off the strength of like, man, I just think it'd be dope to have a kid. Like I personally haven't had kids yet because it's like I'm not trying to have a kid just because I'm seeing this family with their baby and it's like, oh yeah, it's getting me all riled up to want to have kids. Like, no, I want to be ready to have a kid and know that I'm mentally there to raise a child and give that child everything it needs from not just elementary school and then like at high school just being like, oh yeah, I ain't gotta really worry about too much. But no, I need to put you through the full process. Like I need to be there every step of the way and you need to know and feel that I'm there every step of the way. There are a lot of parents who do that well, but it's these days it's so many parents that are not doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think another piece of that is the number of single parent households is definitely still climbing. Mm-hmm. And I think it becomes huge and it makes things harder.
Not to be mistaken with necessarily kids don't have fathers, because I think a lot of people think like, especially like with black household, like the running joke is like, oh yeah, black fathers are just like leaving the home and like they're going away and never coming back. What we're talking about is because this is still pretty damaging too. Kids having to grow up in a divorced home where like you still got a relationship with your father, he's still there, but your mom and your dad isn't together, so it's like you gotta go see mom and see dad, bro. Like that shit, like it is important. Like that matters. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like
1,000.
Like I mean, like my dad and my mom might as well have been divorced, but like You know what I'm saying? Like, he was present. He was there, but he wasn't present, if that makes sense. Like, it's like even that.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah. Like, even that was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you there, I'm having a football game. Why you ain't in none of my games?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of stuff. So it's just like, I can't imagine what it's like when it's, you got kids that are in single parent households, and it's like they're most of the time growing up with their mom or just growing up with their dad. And it's like the other parent is not necessarily fully checked out, but they're not able to be there all the time.
Every other weekend.
Yeah. It's just it's like, you know, I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to say it's like because of, you know, westernized culture and westernized society, but it's like capitalism is such a big thing. It takes us away from the most important thing, and that is, you know, the human experience, and that is like growing a family. So it's kind of like, so it's like very tough. So like, I definitely hear that. It's one of my patented phrases is, you know, can't wait to be a father, but I can wait, because, you know, we want to make sure that you do it with, you know, a person that you like truly love and care with, because being a parent is a human rite of passage, where like it's fun to have a baby, but it's like not fun to have a baby because teenage years, because you got to be able to, I guess I'm already working on my own patented phrases, being like, what bills you pay here? You gonna call CPS? I'll call them for you, because let me tell you,
That happened
they
to me.
ain't gonna love you like I love you.
Yeah.
That happened
So-
to me. Shit.
And I'm getting real close, man. Like, working with these kids it's taught me a lot. Just like, you know, we grew up in those households where it's just kind of like, yeah, you never really felt like you could talk to your mom or talk to your dad about certain things because it either felt weird or you thought that they would judge you. You know, there's been a lot of stuff that I've learned about kids and like just how to handle kids and what they expect of us like as adults, that has kind of been like, man, yeah, you know what, like I think I may be I think I'd be a great fucking father. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting very close to that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we could never really tell our parents when we were wrong or how something made us feel. You made me sad. That hurt my feelings. I'm mad. And them being receptive of that, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. What happened? Okay, well,
That never existed.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning stuff like that with these kids. Like, anytime a kid is going through something, I'm able to be like, talk to me. What's going on? Let's talk about it. And if it's something that I said that hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. And I didn't mean to. And like really treating them and giving them that same cadence that you would to an adult, while still while still making sure that they understand that I know that you're a child, but at the end of the day, you're a human and you will have these feelings. You're going to have these emotions, and you're valid in how you feel. And yeah, you know, it's getting me there for sure.
No doubt.
You know? Yeah, I could say, man, I think everybody should experience working with kids. I think it'll make everyone if you ain't got necessarily have a career with kids, but just you know, being around them, talking with them, and just seeing like just seeing how they see the world. I think everybody who wants to have kids should at some point in time get into some type of involvement where they learn how to, you know, handle kids.
Yeah.
If you can make it through the middle school shit, man, man. Someone
Favorite
told
group?
me when I first started my job, you can make it at HB Lee, you can make it anywhere.
Middle school is to me the most impactful year when it comes to kids, because they're the most malleable and they're still kid. So you can do all the creative things as you would as if they were a little kid, but in the same extent, you can mold them into the adult, a young adult that you hope they will be.
Yeah.
And it's because they not set in their ways. They not, most of the time they not completely stubborn. Yes, you're going to have those that are stubborn, but most at the end of the day, if you show them love and attention and affection and some type of heart, they'll change.
Yeah.
And a lot of times those kids will go in that positive direction. So to me, middle school is my favorite group of students to work with. My favorite.
Because I feel like a lot of people, some people don't get that crossroad. Like it just is like, man, this was just gonna be my life regardless. And I do hate that for them. But like I feel like for most people, most kids, like I think middle school is the first, and then high school for sure is the second, where they get to decide who they gonna be for the rest of their life. And I feel like I came across two crossroads where it was just like I could go left or I can go right. And so in middle school for sure, it was just like there was so much influence, so much bad influence that was just kind of like just present. Like, and I'm talking about bad. Like I had friends that was trying to get me to, they were trying to get me to have fucking sex in middle school. And yeah, I'm like,
that was happening.
I'm like eighth grade. I'm like eighth grade, and it's just kind of like, hey man, like, got a condom in my hand. Let's go to these girls' house, and I'm just sitting here like, wow, nah. And there's so much that went into that. No, there's so much that if it didn't happen, if I didn't have the certain people in my life, if I didn't have like the certain people in my ear, that could have turned into a yes, and I could be sitting here right now with a kid 14 years younger than me. We both going to the club.
Before we skedaddle, I do want to make just a pivot in question for you when it comes to just because you off camera you talked about like leaving your mark, talking about coming from Houston, coming to being here. What kind of mark do you want to leave just being in Oregon? Talked about a lot.
I think the mark, I feel like what I'm going to love and something that I know that I'm going to leave is like, man, I really did get to shape some lives and change the course of some of these kids' lives. And, I'm not going to always be in Portland, but, I think we all got that one teacher that we were just like, man, I remember such and such. Like, damn, they was so fucking dope.
Don Johnson.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all got that teacher or administrator or coach or something. We just like, dog, they fucking amplified my childhood. Like, this is dope. And it's like, I think when I was younger, I always told myself that, man, if I was to ever get an education, I want to be the dope teacher. I want to be that teacher that everybody wants to skip class for. Now, you want to hang out in my classroom, but you just can't, because guess what? Mr. Craig wants you in class.
Yeah.
And, I'm really happy that I kind of got to, like, in some way, like, fulfill that and touch that. And so, like, that's the mark that I feel like I just want to leave. I just want to be immortalized in their hearts and feel like, like there's something that I said to them that they are going to be able to reflect on. Because, I mean, the one thing that I got to reflect on a lot for sure was teachers, like, telling me all the time, hey, if you don't stop fucking around, you're going to be at McDonald's flipping burgers for the rest of your life. And we used to think that shit was a game until you get to the drive-through window and it's one of these class clowns that you could have been clowning with.
Yep.
And he's just like, hey, man, I ain't seen you in a while. And now you just like, man, just put my fucking fries in the bag.
Just give me my fucking fries.
Just give me my fucking fries. And, it's like, I want kids to be able to look back, like, what did Mr. Craig tell you? What did Mr. Craig tell you when you were younger? Like, did he tell you that this would happen if you didn't do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I always like seeing like how that mentorship and that level of just like involvement like really like shaped me. And it's just like, yeah, I don't want to be at McDonald's, and I definitely don't want to end up with a kid before I'm 19. So I'm gonna make sure I do this, and I'm gonna make sure I do that. Definitely help. I do think that I hope that, and I don't know how to do it myself just because I didn't have it, but I hope that we can get more into conversations with kids about them knowing how to do a lot of the important things that we think that they're not gonna really have to worry about until they're in high school. Cause sometimes it's too late. Like, I wish my dad had talked to me about shit like real estate. like when I was a kid.
Mm.
Like, what does it take to buy a house? What does it take to get a car? Like,
Yeah.
important shit.
How to do taxes.
You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily middle school, but bro, freshman year, high school, like start getting people start getting your kids financially literate.
Yeah.
Because it's a game changer for sure.
Facts.
Yeah. Y'all game at all? I know we've been talking serious. Like,
Yeah.
y'all game at all?
I game.
Yes and no. I'm not a big gamer.
Yeah.
I never really grew up playing games. People play games around me, but I was the dude that sit and watch. Like I was the sit and watch kid.
Nerd.
Interesting.
But I mean, like I play mostly like first person adventure games. So like, yeah.
Nigga, you just the same shit now.
First-person
adventure
Like-
games. I know
like
you
Far
did.
Cry. That's the only one I can think
Well,
of. First person.
Watch him just say, he gonna say Pac-Man.
So I just played Ghost of Tsushima. So that
Ghost of Tsushima is a beautiful.
so I just
fucking
finished that game. And so
proud
that like games like that, like
That's a good game.
kind of Call of
single
Duty,
player.
single
player.
player, like
You'll do
action
Call of Duty, but you play it for the campaign.
No, I actually only play that for team. If I play with buddies online, that's the only reason why I play Call of Duty. So like, I'm more of like Ghost Recon, stuff like that. So like, just you can run a map, you can go wherever, you can collect all the stuff. It take me 7 years to beat the game, but I play it.
Yeah,
That's the type of.
I like because so you say y'all do games?
Yeah, I'm more of a sports gamer.
Sports.
I like my FIFAs and 2Ks.
Adventure sports, RPGs. I'm all over the place, but
I
got my big four.
Y'all touch MK1 yet?
Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I have
Kombat,
not touched
okay.
it. No, the last one I had was 10. Mortal Kombat 10. Probably the last.
That's the new one that just came out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I heard about it. I heard it's
streaming
good.
now.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. I like it.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
See, I play UFC.
I should
That's my
jump into
fighting
some
game.
streaming, man, but like, man, these days, like with playing fighting games, I like being in a room and you're sitting right here and we're playing.
Yeah.
So when I'm whooping the shit out of you, I can see how frustrated you are. And,
Yeah.
it's a little more. So it's a little more meaningful, like,
course.
hey, we're bonding. But it's like we get on the internet now. It's like sometimes you get with somebody who just got a bad connection. They whoop the shit out of you, and you're like, hey, my punches ain't throwing when I press that square button. It's you garbage, you trash.
Exactly, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get on. I try not to get online. MK11, I'm like 7-0 because when I do get online, I fight who I think I can maybe win against,
Uh-huh.
and then when I do, I'm like, turn on my mic. Take this to your ass, yeah. And then they be like, rematch. Hell no, you ain't getting no rematch. And then I get off the game for the rest of the day.
There you go, yeah.
I get my win and then I leave.
Oh, so you one of them? Nah.
No, I'm the same way. Yeah. On UFC, like I'll
I ain't
go
gonna
on
lie,
you.
bro. For some
That's
reason, losing on fighting games,
Oh,
it's damaging, man.
it's the worst. No,
I
it
don't
ruins
wanna
your day.
lose on a
It
fighting
ruins.
game.
You lose, and then you want to come back and get a win, and then you lose again, and then it's just the day's ruined.
I don't know. For some reason, getting my ass kicked on a game, it feels like it's real life. It feels like it's real life.
That's hilarious.
I have to keep my record 7-0. I've never tasted defeat. Yeah.
You gotta get RJ out here. He the big gamer. He's the gamer. Like, he got all the games, all the systems. He the big gamer.
I can't wait for Spider-Man.
The new one?
I
Miles Morales?
I think that's gonna probably end up being game of the year.
Oh.
If they do it right, that's gonna end up.
I mean,
being
the
game
last
of
one.
year.
The last one was pretty cool itself.
That's pretty cool.
I think it
Miles Morales.
well, like I think it's Miles Morales. Too.
Got it
Yeah,
in the
there was
closet.
Spider-Man, then Spider-Man
Right
Miles
there.
Morales, and now this one's gonna have.
Oh,
Pretty
it doesn't
much
have the girl in it too.
Well, this one's gonna have both, but it's Venom. They're gonna have Venom in the game,
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
and the guy who's playing Venom, I think they did that was like, ding, like y'all did perfect with that. It was it's Tony Todd.
Not sure.
You don't know who Tony Todd is?
Mm.
Y'all ever watch Candyman?
Oh, that guy, black guy.
Yeah, not the new current Candyman.
Old,
but the
new-
back in the
new-
day.
Back in the
Candyman.
day, him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's
all
Venom.
right. Oh,
So, you know, he already has that voice.
He has a very deep
Yeah.
voice. Yes.
Very raspy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Man, Candyman scared the shit out of me as a kid, though.
It was Tales from the Crypt for me.
Really?
That nigga be laughing. I'll be like, well, I'm gonna stay.
kitties.
Yeah.
Yeah. But bro, Candyman, dog, that was bro, like talking about like things that, and I think I had a conversation with somebody about this. Is like I feel like every culture or every race kind of like has like this like folklore that I feel like they used on kids to keep kids
Oh yeah.
fucking like straight.
Oh,
and
yeah.
for
That's
me,
actually such a
Candyman was one of them. I thought that guy was real.
damn.
I don't know for how long I thought he was real, but I thought that there was a man, specifically Tony Todd, that would come through my window or through my mirror if I said his name 5 times. And first of all, I'm a big movie buff. I love movies, and I think horror is like one of my favorite ones. And it's ironic that horror is my favorite movie because I'm definitely a scary motherfucker. I'll watch a scary ass movie and be like, that night, all the lights on and
I ain't going to bed.
See, that's why,
Bro.
yeah, I can't.
bro, I watched that movie as a kid. My mama had to sit with me in the bathroom. In the bathroom while I took my bath. That's how scary I was of
Yeah.
that movie.
Same way.
I, go to
I
sleep
can't
on
do
scary
horror movies.
I was
I
like,
can't do
I ain't about to be. I ain't about to try. I ain't never said it in the mirror. Never will. I ain't about to be the one nigga that tried it and be like, well,
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, people don't do like, and people have asked me like, yeah, why you ain't never like tried to conjure anything? Like, man, black people don't conjure shit. I don't want to call nobody that's not here. If they not here, if they not human, let them stay where they at.
I'm trying to conjure these M's. That's what I'm trying.
I'm not even trying to say his name for. I'm not trying to say his name for. I don't want to say his name 5 times because if this just so happens to be the one time that we put enough energy into this shit for it to become real, I don't want to be the guy that did that. So yeah,
That's what it. Go ahead.
Hold on. Take us out. I said my piece.
So, if you haven't liked, subscribed, hit the bell, $hero.
Bob.
Okay, he ready to go. Make sure you donate to the Cash App. It's been a nice, lovely session with y'all.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I want to say thank you so much for coming through. Blessing us with your knowledge, shoes, youth advocacy, and I don't know if I can play you Mario Kart because if I let you win, you might think you might be the greatest, but I'm really ranked out
you're
here.
not gonna get a rematch.
Exactly. Don't rematch McGee over there. So I just want to say thank you for your time and anyone who graced the stage. I really, really, really appreciate that. Really do.
Of course. Yeah.
If we ever do this again, I'm probably gonna like I said, man, I could talk sneakers like all day. I want to definitely like bounce around
Absolutely.
and stuff, but it's like, man, next time I'm probably gonna really dive into some sneaker stuff.
Please
Bring some boxes. Let's
Bring some boxing,
bring some boxes. Do some storytelling.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's my favorite thing about sneakers. That's the number one thing for me. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
like we just saw Air. You know, Air. We just saw Air. Air came out. And, you know, in that movie, she says, you know, a shoe is just a shoe until my son steps in it. And I think for that, even with her saying that, I'm just like, yeah, she got a point because Michael Jordan has a hell of a story.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like
Crazy.
for me, a shoe is just a shoe until it does, it has that story to it. Like, I think that's I'm mainly into Nikes and Jordans, and I think more so I'm into Nikes and Jordans is because of Michael Jordan. But man, if a sneaker has a really good story, I might actually consider like getting it. It depends on how I feel like the story aligns with me. But I love stories, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's me.
Tell the people where they can find you, Craig.
Find me on Instagram, Craig No Ice Cube, Twitter, Craig No Ice Cube, Twitch, Craig No Ice Cube. And man, if you ever want to link up for some gaming, man, just hit me up on the socials. I can get you added up. And
Play the man. Play the man.
I
take it easy
I
on
can't guarantee you that if I beat you, I'm gonna play you again. So you better come. You better come.
Correct.
Ready to take me down. Cause
Beat him first.
you know.
No rematch clause.
Hell, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, and there's no shame, man. If I think you may even beat me, I'm probably gonna disconnect.
That's great.
On that note, this is
Cause it's an internet record, everybody can see it. But no, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't that low. I'll take my L's. I'll take my losses.
that might be sus. But
Probably wondering if I think of you. Sorry, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, I'm for the bag right now. Yeah, for the bag that I never had. Yeah, you probably mad right now. Yeah, I got a 2-piece now. But shit, I think they call them groupies now.